move towards the messes in other people's lives, how inconvenient is too inconvenient? How unsafe is too unsafe? How dangerous is too dangerous? What are the limits to loving others as we love ourselves? So, what are the people in your life that you would help out of a mess no matter what? Who are the people? That's what
You did say.
yeah. So, who are the people in your life that you would help out no matter what? I think we already know you had a couple. It's those people that you would ask in the middle of the night.
Yeah, your 2 a.m. phone call people.
Yeah. Those are the easy ones.
We're having a Bible study here at Starbucks, so if you want to listen in, you're welcome to.
Yeah.
In Katy, Texas,
I think
North Mason Road, so South Mason Road. I'll get it right in a minute.
There's this scene where is talking to this buddy and he walks in and he goes, okay, so we're gonna go somewhere tonight, and you can never ask me where, and you can never ask me where. All I can tell you is and the guy looks at the guy, who's driving?
That's the only question.
I think it's easy to do it for certain family members, and then there's certain family members that you're like, no, not at all. And then there's certain friends that you grew up with that you're willing to do it with. So, what is it about those relationships that motivates you to move past any discomfort to offer help?
They've been around, there's comfortable,
I mean,
there's
if
a
they've been there for you,
relationship.
then yeah, it's pretty easy to go somewhere for them.
But what about the people that, I mean, how do you get that started though? Because if it's a tit for tat thing, then that doesn't sound very biblical.
I think that a relationship grows to that point.
Right. We split,
Okay, so it starts little.
it starts right like this, right?
So talk about a time when someone moved towards your mess and how that experience shaped you. Just to kind of get you up to speed. Everybody has a mess.
I know, we know.
Oh, that's right. You've watched this. Okay, so
No, I haven't watched it. Just we
You've had the
questions
discussions?
last night. Yeah.
so you already have answers.
Yeah.
Now he's
I'm shocked. We studied for Bible study.
So talk about a time when somebody moved towards your mess and how has that experience shaped you?
We have to be close enough with somebody for them to identify your mess, right?
Not necessarily.
Well, they have to be familiar with the mess.
Richard
Right?
helps people out all the time, right? So you're
Yeah, but you're
addressing.
familiar with the structure of the mess you're approaching, right? There's certain aspects.
No,
of
I'm
it.
not familiar. They just come up and tell me.
But when they tell him, then he recognizes this is something
There's
that
a
needs to be
framework.
involved
There's a
in.
framework of the mess that you have.
Well, yeah, they know I'm available to do that, and I do that all the time. They already know that they can trust me.
But you know
what I
right? But you're familiar with the
Yes.
structure of a dysfunctional situation.
Yes.
Maybe. See, there you go.
And I can
right?
address the
And you
problem.
can wade into something without going, oh gosh, this looks scary, right?
Yeah, right.
Right. You don't. Yeah, you already know it's scary, or there's some level that you know it's scary, and you just can wade into it, right? So that's what it takes. Somebody else, at least not familiar with you, but familiar with your mess. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Right. You just have to wade in, right?
Okay, so talk about a time when somebody moved in towards your mess. I think one of the most, I don't know, the biggest tumultuous time in my life is like teenage years. It makes sense because you're confused. You don't know who the heck you are. You don't know what your passion is. Everybody's asking you, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you have no clue. What?
Taller.
Just taller. I was already fairly tall at young, kind of. But the thing is, I think the youth pastors jump into that, and then they're at least the ones I've had were accepting. They kind of showed you that this is kind of normal, but it's
okay
here's
to not
how
know who you are or what you are.
exactly that God has a plan, and I think that's what shapes you, especially if you're in the church from that young age. It shapes you in your beliefs later on. You have to kids, or you're called to a mission field or anything else, because you're going to remember back to those mentors. And that's really what I'm looking at, is it doesn't matter who it is, they become mentors in your life.
That's what I tell the churches, right? God has a plan for you. It's your job to just kind of figure that out. That's all your real job is. You have to go to school and do your parents' things. Just figure out what God gave you to
Okay, so got a verse for you, verse man. Luke 10.
Luke, who's this Luke guy?
He was a doctor.
Go ahead.
Luke 10, 25 through 37.
I just can't read it. There's music in the background. On one occasion, an expert in the law stood up to test Jesus. Teacher, he asked, what must I do to inherit eternal life? What is written in the law? He replied. How do you read it? He answered, Lord your God with all your heart. Love your Lord with God. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength, and with all your mind. And love your neighbor as yourself. You have answered correctly, Jesus replied. Do this, and you will live. But he wanted to justify himself, so he asked Jesus, and who is my neighbor? In reply, Jesus said, a man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho when he was attacked by robbers. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him, and went away, leaving him half dead. A priest happened to be going down the same road when he saw the man. He passed on the other side. So too a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, passed on the other side. But a Samaritan, as he traveled, came where the man was, and when he saw him, he took pity on him. He went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring oil on him. Then he put the man on his donkey and brought him to an inn to take care of him. Well, right? Is that do we want it all?
No, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Which person or group of people are you tempted to disqualify from the neighbor status? I'll read it again. Which person or group of people are you tempted to disqualify from the neighbor status?
Like the way they really are.
Now, I think anybody, that doesn't agree
Right, that
with our
requires you
viewpoint.
getting to know them.
Dang it. Ouch! I think it's also this one of those, gosh, it's going to just take so much time to do that. Because you know the personality of the person or
Logically, I have an answer that's right across the street from me.
oh no.
Right?
There's like a Muslim Democratic family that lives across the street from me, and there's times that I really want to talk to them, and there's times that I really don't want to go talk to them.
My wife is one that will go out and talk to all the neighbors, knows all the neighbors, and she's like, hey, come out and meet the neighbors. And I'm like, I don't want to. I don't want to. No, you need to come out and meet the neighbors. So I tend to disqualify pretty much everyone from the neighbor status.
You met the Woodwards around the corner?
No, I haven't met him. I don't want to. Sorry.
Oh, he's a nice guy. You should go talk to him.
Oh, yeah. That's what they say about all of us.
Yeah, that whole clan talks.
I think it's one of those that you want to disqualify anybody who's going to be no advantage to you.
Controversial.
Or definitely controversial. Don't want that. I don't want the drama.
That you think there should be a line, but you really there's not.
No, there shouldn't be.
It's like, when I was losing my money in prison, that was the question I had is, you'd think there's this glowing do not cross line between cast them out into utter darkness and what you did to the least of me, but there's not.
Right. That's part of the free will issue is that it's not black and white, right? Did I make the right decision?
So did we answer the second part without even knowing it? What makes you hesitant to move towards the person or group's mess? I think it's inconvenience.
Do you have time to build a relationship, right?
Does it have to be in a relationship?
It has to be some type of relationship.
Really?
We're in a relationship with everybody.
If I go and serve in the food kitchen on a Thanksgiving, is it really a relationship?
You're in a relationship with the people you're serving with.
Even though it's short.
You have a very short relationship with the people you're serving with.
Okay.
And the question is,
That's
do
true.
you want to further that relationship by spending more time with them? That doesn't mean being serving them
Take too
more.
much work.
That means sitting down with them and hearing their story.
But see, that's the thing. If you sit down and listen to a story, at that point, there's a lot of things you can learn from them. Because everybody has a different story. That's what we're trying to get across to our daughter. My daughter, is the youth pastors have been telling their story. And I said, well, what's your story? And she goes, I don't have one. Well, no. From day one, you
got
have
one.
a story.
You got one. It's just pretty boring.
It just may not be very exciting, yeah.
I had 2 loving parents. I have 4 loving grandparents.
Yeah, and-
I may have great grandparents.
But
Right?
what doesn't sound exciting to me, or sounds boring to me, may be exciting to somebody else who doesn't have that.
Right. Right. Especially if you're, your mom and dad have divorced 2 or 3 times, right?
Your grandparents aren't in the picture.
Step siblings.
You can tell them.
Back to the other one we watched about the election mess.
Yeah.
There's a reason why everybody's in the place that there is. There's a story behind the place that they are. There's a story behind the police that they have.
But
And you really want to wade into that and find out what that story is.
That's the issue,
But I think
right?
we can't
How-
relate to them
and
until
we're-
we know their story.
Right. Because we want to have control over our lives, and we don't want to have to go down that path because we don't. It might be a short path, and it might be real easy, right? Or it could be a really long path that takes years.
Rules in life. By the time somebody says long story short, that ship has already sailed.
So, thinking about the passage, talk about a time when you passed by someone else's mess, and what do you wish you had done differently?
There was a time where I loved pulling over and helping people on the side of the road, but now that I have kids and a wife, right, I can't
Too
do it.
dangerous.
Right? Because I mean, and I remember changing an elderly couple. They wanted to give me money. It's like, I don't want your money. Then why'd you do it?
I think your experiences color you as well. I always, there's this thing that crossed my mind when we were talking about this week. Our neighbor across the street, Dan McCall, when I was growing up, I was 1970s. Everybody knew everybody. I mean, we all ran around with each other. He was on his way to work, and there was a car accident. This lady had gotten hit her, had taken off. Dan stopped. He comforted the lady. He was sitting there. It was a cold morning. He gave her his coat. They show up, and he says, "Look, I have to go to work. Here's my name and number. Just give me a call when I'm back to coat." What he got instead was a notice saying that he was being sued by this lady for the accident. Right now, but it was he had hit her, and it cost him like $10,000 in 1970s money to go through the legal process. I mean, eventually, he got that money back.
She thought,
Right. She sued him saying that he had hit her. And all he had done was just stop and call.
and give her a code.
Yeah. But it's one of those things that I see a car accident, and that's what my first instinct now is. I don't really want to get involved in that. I don't want to get involved.
It could cost me.
Right.
Yeah, it's you start weighing the risk involved rather than the benefit.
I mean, yeah, you should be compassionate, but
At what cost?
yeah.
So, during the message, John said, move towards a mess, but not every mess. If you try to move towards every mess, you'll get a bigger mess. What are some ways you decide which messes to move towards?
You have to rely on the Lord.
I think that's
God,
that's discernment.
Right. Well, there is some discernment there, but you still have to make sure that is the Lord asking you to stop and help?
Yeah.
Or are you supposed to?
But that discernment is has to be through the Holy Spirit.
Well, and you're right, and that requires a good, strong relationship.
But see, that's the thing that we were talking about with Nancy, and it's some people are because she's a nurse, which means that she's a St. Jude person, which is a lost cause. She sees an accident, she's gonna stop. She's gonna do something to help you. Right. It's in her DNA, kind of, That's why she's a lost cause, because she's always a nurse.
Yeah.
I get these manic kids. I don't really know how to help them, so I can skip this one.
No, but that's a good point.
This is above my expertise level.
But I think that's
I just stood back and let the paramedics do their job.
but that's a good point.
I will hail the paramedics and take them where they should go.
You look at a mess and go, how can I help? You start immediately looking at what skills, what talents you have and how you can help. And sometimes it's just being available and jumping in. So,
The first thing you do in any ministry situation is you listen to them.
Right. It's
You listen.
So you have the full foundation of
Yeah.
what the issue is. Don't assume an issue and just make it worse by that.
You listen, and then you try to say something that'll help the situation, not,
and
you know
sometimes
what
the
I
best thing is not to say anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
In a lot of ways, that's hard for guys more than women.
We want to fix it. We
When
want to
somebody's talking to us,
We're going, I can fix
when
that.
somebody is talking to us, we're like a dog with a biscuit on our nose. We're just waiting for them to stop so we can tell them how to fix their problem.
Yeah. No, and I think
Women
that's-
don't want you to fix their problem.
That's what I do with Dad. Is if I just need him to listen, I just tell him like, I don't need you to solve it. If you listen.
We are no good at that. Is there a mess in someone's life that you need to move towards? What can you do over the next week, month,
That's a good
or
one.
even
Just skip
year,
that one.
or
Don't
even
break
a
the
year,
silence.
to begin to treat that mess as an opportunity instead of an inconvenience? Anybody? Wow. That's the note we're ending on.
You see a lot of messes, but you know, a lot of times they won't accept any answer.
Yeah, it's, going back, right?
So you can,
You approach, you create the relationship, and you listen. Right?
And you're available. I
Yep,
think
and you're
when they're
available.
when they're ready,
when they're ready, they'll come to you.
because
normally.
in my career, I get a lot of people who go, "Hey, can you teach me this?" And it's kind of more jokingly that they ask that. The reality is when they're really ready, you know it,
Yep.
and you're going, "Okay, now we're ready to sit down and we can help, and I can work with you." And that's just being a mentor and
Yep.
being available.
Because, I mean, it's the part of people that bother me. Is people that want you to come in and help them fix their mess, but they don't want to try to change their behavior so they don't end up right back where you left them.
Well, and then some people want help, but it's not really help. They want you to do it for them.
Right.
And in that case, it doesn't help. You're an enabler at that point, because sometimes the best help is to let them do it themselves. Especially like with your kids, you doing it for them isn't going to help them learn. Whether it's a work ethic, whether it's compassion, whatever it is you're trying to teach them, they have to do it and be involved.
It's kind of knowing when to say, sucks to be you, work through it.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
Yep.
Definitely.
So, moving forward, when Jesus told us to love our neighbors as ourselves, he had something radical in mind. He was challenging us to see others' messes as opportunities, not inconveniences. He was calling us to put others ahead of ourselves, just as he put us ahead of himself. Jesus replied, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. As the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. All the laws and prophets hang on these two commandments." Matthew 22:37 through 40.
I always counted that as one commandment. Oh, sorry.
No, I just read it.
Oh, that was it?
That was it. Yeah, no, it's two commandments. Love the Lord your God, and then love your neighbor as yourself.
I always thought it was just one commandment.
No.
Together. No, I get it.
It's two.
I'm not telling
Two
I'm not
different
telling
people.
you that's wrong. I'm saying I misunderstood. That Bible thing is wrong.
Yeah.
One flows out of the other.
Well, yeah, you
Because
can't
I always heard the 11th commandment, right?
you can't love your neighbor as yourself if you, or as Christ loved us. You can't love him until you know what God's love is for you.
But, working back to what we had talked about before, it's kind of that whole thing about why do you hang out with people, why do you rush in to help them, and it's because, they helped you through your messes. God helped you with your mess in life, so shouldn't you?
Well, and I think this goes back to one that I think it's by Gary Smalley. It may have been another one, but it's the blessings. You may not have gotten the blessing from parents, but the thing is we all have a source of blessing, whether it's Christ, mentors, other people around us who have passed on things to us. And it's our job to pass that on to others. So it doesn't have to be you helped me, I helped you. It could have been somebody helped you, whether it's God, whether it's a mentor, whether it's a family member. Now it's your job to pass it on. So, very straight. Yep.
Can't find it.
That's all we got. Good.
All right, so today we've talked about loving our neighbors, and that's kind of hard to do sometimes, but we'll give it a shot. Thanks for listening, and hope you enjoy this. God bless you.